Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar. It is the holiest month for Muslims. Muslims fast during this month. Fasting is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Ramadan is a time for spiritual reflection and growth. Muslims abstain from food and drink from dawn to sunset. They engage in increased prayer and acts of charity. Ramadan is a time for Muslims to strengthen their relationship with God. The Quran is the holy book of Islam. It was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, during Ramadan. The Quran is a guidance for humanity. It contains verses about faith, worship, and morality. The revelation of the Quran began on Laylat al-Qadr. This is the night of power or night of decree. It is believed to be one of the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Muslims believe that the Quran was revealed in stages over 23 years. Fasting during Ramadan was made obligatory for Muslims in the 2nd year after the Hijrah. This was a significant moment in Islamic history, marking a new phase in the spiritual and communal life of the early Muslim community. The Hijrah, which refers to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his migration from Mecca to Medina in 622 CE, was a turning point that established the foundation of the Islamic State. This migration was not just a physical journey but also a spiritual and social transformation that allowed the Muslim community to practice their faith freely and establish a society based on Islamic principles. Before the advent of Islam, the Arabs observed days of fasting as part of their pre-Islamic traditions. These practices were often linked to specific events or rituals within their communities. Fasting was also a common practice among other religious groups, including Jews and Christians. For instance, Jews observe Yom Kippur, a day of atonement, while Christians observe Lent, a period of fasting and penance leading up to Easter. The month of Ramadan holds a special place in Islamic history and tradition. It is a time for reflection, self-discipline, and spiritual growth. Muslims believe that during Ramadan the gates of heaven are open, the gates of hell are closed, and the devils are chained. Sahih al-Bukhari, 1899. One of the most significant events that took place during Ramadan is the Battle of Badr. This was the first major battle in Islam, where the Muslims, despite being outnumbered, achieved a decisive victory against the Meccan forces. Quran 3:123. The victory at Badr was seen as a sign of divine support and boosted the morale of the Muslim community. It demonstrated that faith and determination could overcome even the greatest of odds. Another pivotal event in Islamic history that occurred during Ramadan was the conquest of Mecca. This event marked the end of years of conflict and the beginning of a new era of peace and unity in the Arabian Peninsula. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his followers entered Mecca peacefully, and the city was established as the spiritual center of Islam. Quran 48:1-3. Today, Ramadan continues to be a time of deep spiritual significance for Muslims around the world. It is a time for community, charity, and renewed faith. Families and friends gather to break their fast together, and the sense of unity and brotherhood is strengthened. The recitation of the Quran, increased prayers, and acts of charity are all integral parts of the Ramadan experience. It is a month that not only commemorates historical events but also reinforces the core values of Islam. As the crescent moon marks the beginning and end of Ramadan, Muslims around the world are reminded of the importance of faith, resilience, and the enduring legacy of their history. Quran 2:185. Fasting was not commanded all at once. It was revealed in stages to make it easier for Muslims. Initially, Muslims were given the option to fast or feed the poor. Later, fasting became obligatory for all healthy adult Muslims. The Quran exempts certain people from fasting. These include those who are ill, traveling, pregnant, breastfeeding, or menstruating. Children who have not reached puberty are also exempt from fasting. Those who are unable to fast due to valid reasons are required to make up the missed fasts later. Section 5. The spiritual benefits of fasting. Fasting has many spiritual benefits. It helps Muslims develop self-control and discipline. It also helps them empathize with the less fortunate. Fasting purifies the heart and soul. Fasting is a form of worship and obedience to God. It allows Muslims to focus on their spirituality and connection with God. It also reminds them of their dependence on God for sustenance. Fasting promotes gratitude and appreciation for God's blessings. Section 6. Observing Ramadan suhoor, iftar, and night prayers. Muslims wake up before dawn to eat a pre-fast meal called suhoor. Suhoor provides energy for the day of fasting. At sunset, Muslims break their fast with a meal called iftar. Iftar is usually a time for family and community gatherings. During Ramadan, Muslims perform special night prayers called Tarawih. Tarawih prayers are offered after the Isha prayer. Muslims recite long portions of the Quran during Tarawih prayers. They also engage in extra prayers and supplications during the night. Section 7. Do's and Don'ts during Ramadan. Ramadan is a sacred month for Muslims around the world, a time of fasting, prayer, reflection, and community. Observing Ramadan properly involves adhering to certain practices and avoiding others. Let's explore the key do's and don'ts to ensure a spiritually fulfilling Ramadan. Do's: fast from dawn to sunset. This is the core practice of Ramadan, known as Sawm. It involves abstaining from food, drink, and other physical needs during daylight hours. The fast is broken at sunset with a meal called iftar, often starting with dates and water, following the tradition of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Engage in increased prayer and acts of charity. Ramadan is a time to strengthen your connection with God through additional prayers, especially the Taraweeh prayers performed at night. Acts of charity or sadaqah are highly encouraged, whether it's donating money, food, or your time to help those in need. Read the Quran and reflect on its teachings. The Quran was revealed during Ramadan, making it an ideal time to read and contemplate its messages. Many Muslims aim to complete the entire Quran during the month, often through group readings or personal study. Seek forgiveness from God and others. Ramadan is a time for spiritual cleansing and renewal. It's important to seek forgiveness for past mistakes and to forgive others, fostering a sense of peace and reconciliation within the community. Don'ts: eating, drinking, or smoking during fasting hours. These actions break the fast and are strictly prohibited from dawn until sunset. It's essential to be mindful and avoid these activities to maintain the sanctity of the fast. Engaging in gossip, backbiting, or other harmful speech. Ramadan is a time to purify not just the body but also the mind and soul. Avoiding negative speech helps maintain a positive and peaceful environment. Arguing, fighting, or being disrespectful to others. Maintaining harmony and respect is crucial during Ramadan. It's a time to practice patience and kindness, even in challenging situations. Wasting time on frivolous activities. Ramadan is an opportunity to focus on spiritual growth and self-improvement. Engaging in meaningful and productive activities helps make the most of this blessed month. The Quran states, "O you who believe, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may attain righteousness." This verse highlights the importance of fasting as a means to develop self-discipline and spiritual awareness. Quran 2:183. This verse, from Surah Al-Baqarah, serves as a reminder of the spiritual goals of fasting and the continuity of this practice across generations. Section 8. The Night of Power, Laylat al-Qadr. Laylat al-Qadr is a blessed night that occurs during the last 10 nights of Ramadan. This night is considered one of the holiest in the Islamic calendar. It is a time when Muslims believe that the gates of heaven are open and the blessings and mercy of Allah are abundant. The night is filled with a sense of peace and tranquility, and many Muslims spend it in prayer and reflection. It is the night when the Quran was first revealed. According to Islamic tradition, the angel Gabriel descended from the heavens and revealed the first verses of the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This momentous event marked the beginning of the final revelation to humanity, a guide for all aspects of life. Worshipping on this night is considered more virtuous than worshipping for 1,000 months. This means that the rewards for acts of worship performed on Laylat al-Qadr are multiplied many times over. Muslims believe that their prayers, supplications, and good deeds are especially potent on this night, and they seek to maximize their spiritual gains. Muslims are encouraged to increase their acts of worship during the last 10 nights of Ramadan. This period is seen as an opportunity to draw closer to Allah and to seek His forgiveness and mercy. Many Muslims engage in additional prayers known as Taraweeh and spend extra time reading and reflecting on the Quran. This includes praying, reciting the Quran, and seeking God's forgiveness. Acts of charity and kindness are also emphasized as Muslims strive to purify their hearts and souls. The night is a time for deep introspection and a renewed commitment to living a righteous life. The exact date of Laylat al-Qadr is not known. This adds to the sense of anticipation and devotion as Muslims seek to find and experience the blessings of this special night. It is believed that the night is hidden within the odd-numbered nights of the last 10 days of Ramadan, which encourages continuous worship and vigilance. However, it is believed to be one of the odd-numbered nights of the last 10 nights of Ramadan. This uncertainty encourages Muslims to engage in worship throughout the entire period, ensuring that they do not miss the opportunity to experience the profound spiritual benefits of Laylat al-Qadr. The night is a reminder of the importance of faith, devotion, and the continuous pursuit of spiritual growth. Section 9. Conclusion. The blessings of Ramadan. Ramadan is a month of blessings, forgiveness, and mercy. It is a time for Muslims to strengthen their faith and improve themselves. By fasting, praying, and engaging in good deeds, Muslims seek God's rewards. Ramadan is a reminder of the importance of compassion, gratitude, and self-discipline. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever fasts during Ramadan out of sincere faith and hoping to attain Allah's rewards, then all his past sins will be forgiven." Sahih al-Bukhari.